Good morning, good morning. It is your girl Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration, here with another episode of Morning Inspiration with Friends. Hope you have your tea, your coffee, or your water, maybe a smoothie, or you may be watching this in the evening and you got your little cup of glass of wine. Whatever it is, welcome, and I thank you for being here. Today I have water instead of my coffee. So, yesterday, if you did not check out yesterday's message, go on over there and watch it. Yesterday's message is this first part of this series that I'm doing. If you don't know, I have a community called Inspirational Trailblazers. So I talk a lot about trailblazing, talk about a lot of the secrets of what a trailblazers look like, what trailblazers look like, and helping people to see the trailblazer in themselves. And that's really what this week is about. This week is about seeing the trailblazer within you. So if you feel like you might be a trailblazer, you might know someone that is a trailblazer and they don't see it within themselves, then I do encourage you to go ahead and share this video. And while you are at it, hit that like button and drop a comment below. And if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe because we are here every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. And I'm just happy that you are here to be with us. So I want to talk about the unseen impact, right? The unseen impact of being a trailblazer. So often we don't see that impact that we have because we are not associating it with what the world compares, right? The world will tell us you're not, impactful unless you have 1 million followers. The world will tell us unless you go viral, there is no impact. So they will have all of these stipulations. And the one thing that I know to be true, that is not 100% correct, right? There's a lot of people out here. David Shantz put up a post the other day on Threads. He probably put up on Instagram too, but on Threads he had said, he was like, you can have 1 million followers and have no impact. And I immediately thought about, and I won't say his name, but I'll make the reference. If you heard about the Bling Bling Bishop in New York City, just Google Bling Bishop, and I guarantee you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this dude had over 1 million followers on social medias across all of his platforms, over 1 million followers. But you go to that man's church, and that man had about 5 members in it. And I'm not even throwing shade. I'm speaking so much truth. Maybe 7 members. Okay. So again, you can have millions of followers and still not really have influence and not have impact. People still won't know who you are. Not in real life, because a lot of those million followers are bots, and just like accounts that we know are not really yielding the kind of impact that the bishop should have been going after, right? We're going to put it that way. So I like to help people to kind of look at their lives and see that they are actual invisible influencers, right? You are an invisible influencer. And that might be the best place to be. Sometimes I do wonder, like, Dad God, why do you keep giving me these gifts for me to go out here and share with everyone, share on, platforms? I'm okay with doing this on the smaller scale, right? And for me, I also had to just realize that sometimes you can do things. It's going to always be a season of invisible influence, but you might end the transition into into a bigger influence, depending if you're comfortable in whatever God has that plan for your life. But I want to just really just give you an understanding, right, that many trailblazers are not going to be recognized for the things that they're doing until much later, until they're actually like at a certain point in their journey. I didn't realize that I had invisible influence during my weight loss journey. When I first started my journey, it was for me, right? I was at a very unhealthy weight, tried every single thing, and like was denied for weight loss surgery several times, despite being over 300 pounds, almost 400, and was still denied for weight loss surgery because of the fact that they said I have no health issues outside of just being overweight. And this is back in 2011, I think, was the last time I spoke to a surgeon, or 2012. And I started my journey October 2012. And so I'm up here like just doing what I do. I'm drinking my water. I'm doing my infused water with lemon and mint and lime, or I'm doing like watermelon and blueberry, really tapping into the lifestyle, which I really got to get back into because I do miss it. Um, Working out every single day, right? And so I'm not paying attention that other people are paying attention, right? And at this time, this was my second year of teaching full time, teaching adults. So all of my students are my age, older. So they're also, some of them are dealing with their own weight loss issues and struggles. And so they're starting to see what I'm doing, and they're seeing the change. They're seeing because we used to wear scrubs. They're seeing the scrubs become looser and looser to the point where they one time did fall. Luckily, I had leggings on. But I just didn't realize that because of what I was living and my reality, my truth, ended up influencing so many other people. I started paying attention and like realizing that some of my students were sitting in my class with their own bottles of water with lemon in it. That there were students coming in and getting smoothies on their way in instead of a bacon, egg, and cheese. I was changing the cycles, right? I was helping to break this in my community because of what I was doing, and never had that intent. Honestly, I will say I never envisioned being at this level of inspirational speaker and author, coaching people. That was never my life's desires. It wasn't until that invisible influence blew up, right? That's when people started reaching out. Hey, can you help me? Because I've been watching what you're doing. I'm watching your journey. I'm seeing your results. I'm seeing how you look. I'm seeing how you're responding. And it just feels good. And it started to do, it did something within them. It made them to start choosing themselves. It made them to start going out there and trying something different, despite what all of these different products that's out here on the market. So I always say, you just never know who's watching you. You never know who's getting inspired by you. If you, especially if you're just doing it authentically and you're true to what you're doing and to yourself, I'm telling you, people are paying attention, and that is going to spark something within in them to take action. And when we see action take place, that means that activation is somewhere, right? And when we have that, that's when we start seeing the trailblazers going out there and doing amazing things, right? And again, a lot of us don't get this recognition. Some people never told me how I impacted their lives. Some people never signed up for my program, but they listened to that conversation. There's one young lady on my Facebook page. When I first had this conversation, I remember this conversation. I'm not going to go into too much details, but she was very defensive, right? The things that I was just highlighting, she was really defensive about. Things that I'm like, look, are you ready to really face this? She was not ready to listen to it. And so she never worked with me. She went about her life, and that was fine. And I saw like 2 years ago, she had lost all this weight, and I was so excited for her. And I finally had a conversation with her, and she was just like, I just wasn't ready back then. Like I wasn't ready, and what you were saying was bringing up some things that I really wasn't ready to take heed to, and I just couldn't believe it. And finally it hit her, and everything that I was trying to get her to face in that time, she faced that late years later, and this is where she ended up, in a beautiful healthy space, beautiful healthy mind, body, spirit, everything. Those are the types of moments that I think that we need to really focus on, because you just never know that these people are actually out here being influenced by your greatness, by your decision to say yes. Somebody out there is being influenced. Second thing is that when we have the power of quiet consistency, like I said, this whole topic is really it's taking me back to when I started this journey, the birthing of Miss Inspiration. Okay. I really had to just show up every single day. I remember just waking up, go into my living room, and I would find one of these workout videos. I love to dance. And so dancing was the best way for me to work out. And I have found some of these influencers who were taking, I forgot the name, I think it was one of those programs. It wasn't Shanti's, but I think it was one that was similar to Shanti's. And they would combine it with like exercise positions and then dancing, and it was just so great. And it was just such a quiet consistency. Another thing that I didn't do was I didn't post about it. So like I didn't. And again, there's no shade against people that make these broad announcements and these big announcements, but I don't put out press releases. When I started my journey, I didn't go on social media. Actually, I recall for the first 30 days of me starting my journey in October of 2012, there's no social media posts. I have none of those first day posts when I got started with my journey. I have none of that because this had to be a quiet consistency for me, right? I had to get myself into it for those first 30 days. Can you get up every other day at least and start working out? Can you get up every day and make your lunch and take it to work with you? You know, so I had to really, and so when you show up for yourself, right, that's going to still shine a light. Because when I came back in them 30 days, people noticed a difference after those 30 days. They saw something physically within me because in the first 30 days, I did lose 20 pounds, right? So physically, they saw something. I don't know, my skin might have been clearer or I just was speaking more positive and had more happiness, and people, they noticed that, right? So sometimes your light is going to be so bright that no matter how discreet that you are trying to be, no matter how quiet you're trying to be about it, people are going to notice. And that is what we are looking for. Those are the trailblazers that people are really trying to gravitate towards because you're not loud about it. Your actions is 100% speaking for it. Your lifestyle is speaking for it, right? I'm all about lifestyle. I'm all about showing you what the lifestyle looks like. I'm showing you what the benefit of this lifestyle is. Some people just talk, and there's no fruit. Right. This is why I tell people you got to measure people by their fruit. You know, some people don't bear fruit at all. and I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And I'm not even gonna lie, they out here making millions of dollars, and that's fine. I don't compare and I don't compete because I understand what my path is gonna be. And I always encourage people just to follow your path and let God do what He's gonna do. But we gotta reduce our fear. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, right? But I share that because I think so many times we are doing all these things quiet and we don't believe like no one is noticing. A lot of people are noticing. They're paying attention. A lot of people are quiet observers, right? And I spoke about quiet observers a couple of months ago because there are so many people out here that wake up, they watch your content, they listen to what you're saying, they just don't comment, they don't respond, they don't hit the like button, they don't press the heart, they don't do any of this, but they listen. Right? They're quietly listen. They are the person. Good morning, Jen. They are the person. I have a friend, right? I have a friend. She'll be on Instagram. Right? So she'll be on Instagram and she'll be like, she'll just be like, and this girl don't never hit the tap. She don't never tap. And I said to her one day, I said, you don't like anything? And she was like, I never thought about that. She was like, she reacts in real life, right? So in her real life, if it's funny, she's gonna laugh. If it's sad, she's gonna be like, oh, right. But in her mind, it does not register to hit that that double tap. And so once I observe that, I don't take offense, right? There are people out here that are looking for the recognition. That's why I said invisible influencers, we're not looking for the recognition. We're just trying to get through it, right? That first wave of that trailblazer, we're not looking for the God, look at me, I did it. Do you see me? No, we just like, can I just get through this? Okay? Because this is hard. And this is scary. And I don't know if I'm going to be successful. I don't know how this is going to work out. When I'm telling you, true trailblazers are not worrying about how many followers. We trying to get it right. And unfortunately, that is also an issue that God deals with us all the time. But you just got to get to that point of just being consistent again, right? Me showing up here, Morning Inspiration started because I did a 21-day challenge to myself of living and thriving as Miss Inspiration. This started months ago. We are now in July 8th. And I started this, and it wasn't a quiet consistency, but it was a quiet consistency for me because I know that I have not been consistent. So I know that I had to just keep showing up and being that inspiration for someone the same way someone did that for me. There was a guy, there is a guy, not he's still alive. But there's a guy I used to moderate for him. He doesn't realize, but he was my quiet consistency, right? I paid attention to him. It was like a season where he went live like almost every single day. And every single day he went live, he had over 500 to 800 people on the live, like at the time it's going on. And I think that's when he had reached his 100K on YouTube, right? He got his platinum plaque. He did all those different things. And what I realized was that I just needed to see that, right? I needed to hear those stories. I needed to just be inspired myself so that every time that I sat and I moderated for him for an hour, 2 hours, right after that, somewhere I had to now plug in some time for myself, for my own brand, because I also am an educator. I also am an inspiration. I am a teacher. So I have to get out here and teach. So I can support you 100%. I can be inspired by you. And now I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to go and produce my own. That's how a lot of us, we should be doing things, but a lot of people don't do that, right? So I really just want you to think about those people that you can glean off of their energy, right? Because that's really what I was doing. I was gleaning off his energy to produce. And it was producing some great things, stuff that is still out there right now, stuff that I can always go back into and I can re-tap into, that's going to help and inspire other people, right? So I just want us to kind of like get into that type of mindset. The last thing is, remember I spoke yesterday. I spoke yesterday about the ripple effect of your presence, right? So when you are growing, when you are healing, when you are building your confidence and your courage, it's going to give other people the permission to do the same thing, right? So often we're on this path by ourselves, but you forget, like I said, those quiet observers, they're sitting in the cut and they're watching what you're doing. And like I said, with his example, he was growing, he was active every single day. That was giving me that same exact courage, that same exact energy that I was gleaning off of that, and it was giving me permission. You know what? If this person can do it, then I know what. If I was to put more consistent into it, I know what I can do. Shout out to Michael McDonald. Michael, when he did a webinar and I had joined, and Mike has spoke about how to get your YouTube channel to monetize if you follow all of the steps that he did. And this was back like 2022. And I remember I was in there, I had my notebook, I was taking my notes, and literally followed everything that Michael told me. And in 2 weeks, my YouTube channel got monetized for the first time. So I share that because, again, so many times you could be in the same spaces, you could be in the same rooms, you could be given a blueprint, but if you don't go out there and do it, then you're not going to have that. There's no ripple effect, right? Someone just sat there and just talk, but there's no ripple effect, And every time that I can, I will give, I'll give Michael credit. I'll be like, if he posted something about monetizing, I will always comment, yo, he gave me the blueprint. I followed it 2 weeks. Bam, everything was done, right? So I want us to realize, like, your presence is going to have that effect on people. People are going to pay attention to what you're saying. What you're teaching is not going to go to the waste, right? Everyone is not going to take action, but someone is going to take action. Whether you're going to be able to see it or not, someone out there is going to take action. Someone out there is going to say yes because you say yes. They're going to say yes because you opened up your mouth and delivered whatever masterpiece that you have to deliver, and it's going to change their lives. Right? So like I always say, someone is out there watching how you overcame something, and they're learning from it. They might not follow it step by step. Right? Some people, you give them the blueprint, they still not gonna follow it step by step, right? Trust me, God has that issue with many of us. He would tell us what to do, we still don't do it. But no matter what, if that person just looks and can see, Jen, I don't know if you're still here. And I'm not putting you on the spot, but Jen, my friend, we're my friend since college. Wow. Years ago. But I look at Jen's life, right? And she has a beautiful family. And she had some struggles with her family. And I just learned like how to overcome those things, right? Not the exact same situation, because I don't have a husband, I don't have children. But when I look at people like that, and seeing the hardships, sorry, Jen, I'm trying not to cry, but seeing the hardships that they're facing and seeing how they're able to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being in the train station, Jen, praying for you and your daughter. Like, I remember that. I remember that multiple times, being in that train station, waiting for the 2 train to come and praying and just seeing how much faith you had in God and what he was going to do in her life. People need to see those things. We may not need to see and know all the details, but people need to see those things. People need to know hard moments, we can overcome those things. So sometimes people are watching what you're doing, they're watching what you're posting, and they're being inspired because it's like, if God can help that person to overcome this hard challenge, I know whatever hard I'm dealing with, he's going to help me to overcome that. So, Jen, you helped me way back. Oh, y'all never know where these moments are going to go, right? But you just never know. So that's something that I want us to kind of always remember. I'm always having, conversations with people. Some people don't like individuals like myself who are always looking to share my testimonies, right? To share the things that I've gone through. And I always say, some people have to share those things because some people out there just they never met anyone that have actually look, I'm gonna be on camera crying. Hush. Trying to stop them because I have no tissue next to me. And I'm up here like trying not to like keep crying. But we have to share those testimonies because people need to know. If they can get through those hard times, I know I can get through my hard times. That's why I say it doesn't matter what your issue is. We don't have to have the same issue. I just have to see how God is going to help you get through it, how God is going to keep giving you the strength to renew you, to get up every single day and fight and to go after what you truly desire. That's all that we need to see. This is what people don't understand. This is the whole other tangent, and I always talk about this. This is why I talk about principle. People don't understand principle. People want to get so caught up in the details. And I am a detail-oriented person, but I'm here to tell you, sometimes you can't be in the details. You got to be in the principle. And the principle is, what can God do? When you watch that God can do anything in someone's life, that should give you the fuel to go after whatever it is, and knowing that God can do whatever he can in your life as well. And that's just what I want people to understand. That's really what this is all about, right? All of this invisible influence, your quiet consistency, all of this is going to just, no matter what, it's going to have a ripple effect on someone, whether you ever know this or not. Some people, again, I'm just open to sharing, right? Jen and I never had this conversation. This is why here we are at 7:27 a.m. on Central Time, crying with each other virtually because of something that I've just never shared with her, right? And I've been fully inspired. But the books that she's written, like the whole 9 yards, you have to just keep going out there and doing it. Find your inspiration and move forward, right? That's my spill. No more tears. Jen, we're not crying today again. All right, y'all share this message. Y'all got me on Facebook and YouTube crying. So y'all need to share this message. Everybody need to see me cry today. And I'm okay with that. But I really hope that this gives anyone out there an understanding of how you are already a trailblazer, right? You are already a trailblazer. This is not something that you have to wait for. It's already within you. And you have this, especially if you have a thirst for new, right? You have a thirst for something new. You have a thirst for knowing that, God, I can turn this around. This doesn't have to remain the reality. Just know it's so possible. It's possible, right? You're already on that path. You just got to get into the right space and the right community. And that's the reason why I created that space. Inspirational Trailblazers is a space for trailblazers, whether you know it or not, to have a space so that you can grow, so that you can focus on your journey, that you can create that path for yourself. None of us have the same path. And I'm always going to speak life into the person, into the path that they want. And I'm telling you, that is the best place. So if that's a community that you're looking for, I do have right now 7-day free trial. You get to join the community, you get the experience, you get to see everything that we have had done in the past, the different workshops and seminars we're about to do. our second half of 2025 goals that we're going to focus on for the for quarters 3 and 4. We're about to do that. That's going to be an amazing opportunity to really dive in. And so the link is in the bio, it's in the description. You can go down there, you can sign up, you can join us. Telling you Thursday, we're going to keep open. Thursday night, we're going to have our second half of 2025 a life update, and we're going to go through that particular workshop. And I have something, I'm only going to put it for inspirational trailblazers. If you was here last week, you heard me talking about like the DISC assessment, personality assessments. This tool that I created is going to be an assistant to those two tools, right? That I'm really excited to release, but I'm like releasing it only to like my members for now. And then we're going to kind of like troubleshoot before I release it to a more general population. But yeah, so that's what I have. You can definitely join. I look forward to meeting with you there. And if you ever have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comments. I will definitely get back to you. If there's a question or a topic that you want me to talk about, that you would like, or that you think that I haven't talked about, please drop those in the comments. You can send me a DM, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. I'm always looking to teach and give people what they want and they need. And I'm going to definitely do that more. But yeah, so I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. We're back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow will probably be like 7:15. Yeah, this week, Wednesday and Friday, probably be like closer to 7:15. But we'll be here nevertheless. But I love you guys. Have an amazing day on purpose, with purpose. Right? No more tears, all happy smiles. I'm gonna go get my coffee since I didn't have that this morning. But I hope you guys have an awesome day. I love you. Have a great one, Jen. I love you. Sorry for making you cry first thing in the morning, but seeing off for life. Have a good one, y'all.